A humanitarian crisis is unfolding in Vietnam. Back-to-back typhoons have left widespread devastation in the region. Within 2 weeks, 3 consecutive storms have severely impacted northern and central Vietnam. Now, according to the National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting, NCHMF, between 11th September and 10th of October, the Vietnam area recorded 3 tropical storms, Ragasa, Bualoi and Matmo, causing loss of lives and property. Now, in the aftermath, aid group World Vision has described the situation in the country as heartbreaking. It said that heavy rain and flooding hit as many as 18 provinces after the storms, claiming as many as 85 lives. Hundreds of others were injured.
The economic loss is massive, and according to the report from the government, it's already existing 1.2 billion US dollar. And many families who were, finally starting to move out from the poverty, but now they lost everything.
Meanwhile, a massive search and rescue operation is underway across central and eastern Mexico as the country grapples with the devastating aftermath of torrential rains, floods and deadly landslides. According to officials, the death toll has climbed to 64, with over 300 communities still isolated and dozens missing. In Bella Vista, Mexico, rescue efforts are in full swing. A helicopter was contracted to evacuate the elderly and most vulnerable residents from Chapula, a community which is severely impacted by the recent floodwaters. Upon arrival, the evacuees were immediately transferred to the care of waiting military personnel and medical professionals to receive necessary treatment.
The truth is, it was desperate for us, because seeing how our town was left, seeing how everything was left, many houses were buried by the river, the stream was filled, all the land was destroyed, the whole town was destroyed, nothing remained.
Heavy rains and deadly flooding in Mexico were largely attributed to the convergence of 2 tropical systems that had formed off Mexico's western Pacific coast. Torrential rains resulted in the overflowing of the Cazones River, inundating several communities like Poza Rica. Search and rescue teams with trained sniffer dogs have been deployed to comb through mud and debris to look for the missing people. Now, Mexico's National Search Commission for Missing People have deployed teams to interview residents and gather reports of those who have disappeared.
It was a catastrophe because they didn't warn us. It caught people asleep, and they say there were many deaths over on that side. A teacher said on her phone that 300 students were missing and hadn't appeared.
In Huauchinango, relatives of a couple missing in the devastating landslide gathered at the disaster site. They urged authorities to continue search efforts for a 39-year-old man and his 41-year-old wife, whose home was buried under the mud.
My family had a small house around here. The hillside came down on top of them, and honestly, to this day, we haven't found them. Even so, the workers keep searching for them. Now they are running out of hope, but we, as a family, are not.
President Claudia Sheinbaum has stressed that reopening roads as well as providing food and water supplies to affected areas were among the government's top priorities.
First of all, reopening the roads to communities that are still isolated and secure air bridges, food supplies, water, and check on how each person is faring.